live. You are live. We own wisdom and love to all. Yes, praise be to the divine creator, Al-Sufian. Oh yes, we're gonna reopen our lesson. Man, it's some beautiful knowledge is to know. Right now, today's time, there's things we need to know, definitely, and there's things we need to know now. Because if not, then the trick's gonna be on you, and you don't want the bitter end of the stick, as we say in the Southern.
Yeah.
So we're gonna open with a Sufa. We're gonna come from Sufa 2 today. Our Sufian word today is Al-Sufian. The Sufian word of the day. It's the fire, as they would say, sorcerer that said, the spirit of God. But that was never the verbiage of our creator. That was the verbiage of magicians. Seek to put the gins on you. Oh yeah, so we're gonna go for Sufa 2. And this is why they didn't want us to know about the divine creator. It's somehow as the Islamic world somehow never heard of this word Sufa, which means they've been duped. So me coming from the background, I was duped as well. So don't feel like a lone stranger. This is why the scholarship is needed. If you don't have scholarship, if you have not read these holy texts from cover to cover, then you're not qualified. In these times, we need people who read and know what's going on in these books. Because all these books ain't from the creator.
That's right.
And so our most prized book, called the Bible, is not from the creator. We have become preachers of that word, and we have committed that to memory, to where we don't know what we're doing with it. No, I forgot that. So we're going to start with number 19. Sufa 2 and number 19. We got to remember this. Allah gives men and women the ability to think, to reason, and to choose. 20. Therefore, you yourself do not need to be told what is wicked and that which is true. 21. You do not need to be warned against false scriptures and teachings. Number 22. If a man or woman tells you to fear Allah first before respect, then by your gift of reason, you should know it to be false. If they tell you that perfect prayer is more important than right intention, this is very key, then by your ability to sense, you should feel it to be untrue. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I know some stories you can feel to be untrue. And they supposed to be in script. We got 3 more lines. 24. If they tell you that Allah demands sheep-like behavior, now that's a big one. We coming from an era of false scriptures. For somehow, in all these false scriptures, they want you to act like a sheep. They want you to fear the Creator. And then they tell you to pray more than right intention. Yeah. All the above. So over a sheep-like behavior, over a passionate behavior, then the gifts given to you by Allah should be enough to see through such evil and lies. Here we come to the crux. To the 25, the true way of Al-Sufian is based on one principle above all others. Now let's see, do a lot of scriptures compare to this script? This verse right here, one principle above others. If they tell you in the 10 Commandments, they said that shall be no other God before thy Lord. It had nothing about you. What the Creator wants us to really know, not from the magicians, but from the prophets, that the one principle above all others is respect yourself first. This is the key. Respect. Not him, not them, but self first. And then so shall you respect all others. And here comes the kicker right here. Only through self-respect and respect of others can a person truly love the Creator. We don't know how it is if we ain't never read such a holy scripture. These are telling us to basically bow down to self. Don't respect self, and respect something else as higher than self. Yeah. So this is why we're reading about self-realization. If these books didn't help you become self-realized, then it's not a holy book. if it doesn't recalibrate your thinking, if it doesn't wash the dirtiness of all the previous words. Remember, this is like brand new for us. This is like ancient brand new. Made in a time that we would know what's divine. So with the lower self and the higher self, this is what we got to know. Because if not, then we're going to be serving one of these masters. Both of these masters, as we see in today's time, you're going to have to choose. You yourself going to have to choose. The Creator gave us the ability to think, reason, and choose what self we're going to use. Remember, for non-readers, this is the golden secret. You will only know that if you read. If you don't know scholarship, you won't read it. So this is what we have to understand through belief systems and what they truly are when it comes from things you have no clue what they are. Yes. So we're going to get ready to move to our Ashta Vakara, the lessons of the Buddha. Of magic. This is opposite of spirit something. You're going to be calling on spirits when we talk about the text of the Buddha. You're going to be learning about self. So we on chapter instruction 3. So someone else could begin with 3.
All right, I'll start. So realization, Esther Vara said, there's Surah first ayat saying, yourself as one, being serene, indestructible. Why do you desire well? Question mark. I think that question can be asked to us all. Why do all desire well? Maybe not all, but the majority. They call it rich, wealthy rich, or plenty. We go after the money, but we won't. We seek and have desire for wealth and riches, but we don't seek and have a desire for truth. 3 and 2 says, just as imagining silver mother of pearl causes greed to arise, so does ignorance of self cause desire for illusion. 3:3, having realized self as that in which the waves of the world rise and fall. Why do you run around in turmoil? 3:4, having realized yourself as pure awareness and beautiful beyond this, how can you remain a slave to lust? You can be a slave many ways, can't you?
Mm-hmm. It's self to self. That makes all the sense.
Yeah. We're a slave to our desires.
And
Desire is what get the best of us.
mm-hmm. And so this is where the society has the world at right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
A slave to their own illusion.
Yeah. And how many times have we heard about USA being one of the richest countries in the world, but what about one of the truest countries in divine righteousness in the world? They just say the money, honey. Better be careful. There's a whole lot of talking going on, but it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
A slave to lust, a slave to desire, a slave to wrongdoing, a slave to ignorance, a slave to not knowing.
Caused by self-ignorance. Steeped in ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
This is how spirits will have you.
Yeah.
Lusting. Once you think people are lusting, lust is a word.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't lusting over the word. When they lusting, they ain't lusting over the letters L-U-S-T. Come on with me.
Yeah.
What they lusting over? That's called a spirit. See, and we don't understand spirits. And spirits are a form of jinn.
Yeah.
That we have to understand. And that jinns is what you call the demons. And the demons are spirits. Just as you live today, these spirits live once. Spirits are immortal, just as your spirit as your spirit is immortal. If you did nothing with it, you're gonna wish to be alive again. So spirits can spend a time in spirit land, where they're no longer awake, where they desire to be awake. They desire to have a body. These things came before a body. See, the body is the final result. But I bet your pastor or your preacher or your mason ain't never taught you that. You gotta leave your body.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you spending so much time in your body?
That's right.
And it's wealth. This is called illusion. Allusion. That slave is a big word. Mm-hmm. Self-realization. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was 3.4, the last sentence.
Yeah. Stop. 3.5. Okay. 3 point is strange that in a sage who has realized self in all and all in self. This sense of ownership should continue. Self in Allah and Allah in self. 3:6. Strange that one abiding in the absolute on freedom should be vulnerable to lust and weakened by amorous pastime. 3:7. Strange that knowing lust as an enemy of knowledge, one so weak and nearing death should still crave sensual pleasure. It's just amazing how, and that's so true. One could be weak and near death, and he'll still be trying to get his pleasure on.
King
Won't
David.
stop knowing something harming him and hurting him, and he won't to save his life.
Sound like the
If
biblical
some of
King
them just
David.
stick with it till take his last breath. I've seen this. 3:8 says, strange one who is unattached to the things of this world and the next, who can discriminate between the and the timeless, who yearns for freedom, should yet feel the disillusion of the body. 3:9, whether acclaimed or tormented, sage abides there. He is neither gratified nor angered. 3:10 says, a great soul witnessed his body action as if they were another's. How can praise or blame disturb him. 3 and 11, realizing the universe is illusion, having lost all curiosity. How can one of steady mind fear death? Question mark. 3:12 says, with whom can we compare? The great soul who contend knowing self remain desireless in disappointment. 13, why should a person of straight mind who sees the nothingness of objects prefers one thing to another?
And that's just something that we, since magicians always start off with one, they taught us to start off with one, which we never learned the process of zero, which now not learning the process of zero created all the pains and aches that pain the mind. People who taught at these school systems didn't know nothing more than you did sitting in the chair. How the universe is an illusion. So if are we talking about the universe is an illusion, then what about what's inside of it?
Good question.
We talking, this is why people need to seek wisdom. See, to someone who as we read him, they know the higher self. So knowing the higher self, how we lost in that which is not the higher self. And it's funny how these things happen. And this is why you have to build up a strong self. As it says, all in self. So self has all these energies within self and how to shape them to purity. Because all this calling on Jesus and calling on spirits that you have no idea what you're talking about or doing. And the whole black, how many times growing up and still here to this day that people know God and they in pain. They say they know God and they trouble. They say they know God, but going to liars, listening to liars, obeying liars. That shows who you are. You yourself is a liar. So when we are understanding self, there's no respect but for self. That's on you. But I don't lie to myself about what I understand and what I do not understand. I did not understand the Bible. So I had to keep reading, get dictionaries, metaphysical dictionaries. And people walking around like they understand this stuff. And still doing all of the negatives and never coming to a self-knowing and a way of speaking that shows a self-knowledge. When we understand who we are, there's no more. And that's especially for myself. I came to this journey to know myself, not to know him, not to know them. And as I know self, I grow with self. And I'm looking to be the best version of myself, not him or them. So when it comes to an understanding of why knowledge of self exists, this is for the ultimate happiness. I asked a question to elders and youngers through the course of the weekend. And the question was, why haven't y'all achieved happiness? How are you this old and you don't know what happiness is? And the response was, oh, what you was told. Or did you read that from scholarship, or you taking the time out to sit down and learn something? Because in this time, this is not no preaching method. This is a self-teaching method. If you're not teaching yourself every day, then you are wasting your own life. Someone like myself, you're going to feel some type of, because I'm not into what you do. I have not watched TV for 13 years. So I don't know what you know. I know what I know. And that is self-knowledge. I don't care about what's outside of me. When we are talking about self-knowledge, we are talking about all. Self doesn't have to go out to all. But that's what the lie has been told. And it's a long time to uncover these lies. And trust indeed, whoever haven't discovered ain't going to tell you. Because you don't know what you don't know. So just like these literatures, you don't know none of these literatures. Because you're not a studier. You're not a scholar. You don't care about wisdom. The Bible told you about wisdom. It gave you an eavesdrop on wisdom. I read it. It's in there. I took that with a sense of urgency. With all thy getting, get understanding. And so when I got understanding, sickness fled. Illness fled. Only thing around is what self allows. So as I move through my journey, not ignorant to who I am, not ignorant on what is the end of who I am, I'm a solid, steady mission. Today, passing through, churches was packed. I mean, every church is packed.
Oh, yeah.
And these are your devils. How can you have so much and your church is packed?
That's right.
What is being taught in these churches? I don't go inside of them, so I don't know. I know they don't teach what's in the book, though. Because if you was teaching what's in the book, you would be looking similar to how I'm looking. Which is you searching for understanding, not to be preached to. You looking for teachings to guide yourself, not that you need to hold hands with someone. So it's been a long, drawn out, just people masking, as the Sufian says. I love what the Sufian said. This is why when I got my hands on this, it's over. you will feel the wrath. Because nobody even had the truth. There's something called death that everybody gonna visit, but everybody ain't gonna make it out. His spirit's still in death right now. You. Yes. There you go. Ignorance is the true friend of evil. Ignoring is the true friend. We just read about the ignorance of self creates all your illusions. This is what I hate about ignorance. It masks itself as divine. It masks itself as it knows God. Ask a person, do you know God, and see what they say. And then test the spirit. I bet you don't know how to test the spirit. Because you need spiritual knowledge, spiritual wisdom to test the spirit. If you don't know the true word, you can't test the spirit. A test of a spirit is to give you a true name of the Creator. Every book that everybody has been reading, your Bible don't have a true name of the Creator. Your Quran does, but it blasphemes your Creator and His prophet, and it doesn't allow you to understand self-knowledge. It has you surrender yourself to submission. They say Islam means submission. Where did they get this from? They say Christians follow Christ. These are the things that I love why life is so fair. Life is very fair. It gives you exactly what you put in it. And I realized that. Since I didn't put nothing into this physical world, I shouldn't be getting nothing out of it. This is the whole point of the illusion. I'm removing myself from ignorance that I was in, thinking these things of the world was fulfillment. But no. Ignorance masks itself as divine and entraps you.
One more to finish. Okay. Three and 14. He who is unattached, untouched by opposite, free of desire, experience neither pleasure nor pain. Pass through. You know, when you think so many people live their lives different. When you think about the monk, how they're away from everybody and everything, and away from all the play, all the football games, television. Just go down the list. Away from that. You can really see a difference in people when you see them getting away from so many attachments. And if you're not careful, because you're going to have pleasure and you're going to have pain. It comes with it. Pleasure brings pain. People wonder why they sick. It was the pleasure of what they was indulging in that made them sick. When you indulge in the wrong action, the wrong food, the wrong path, that's what it brings. Death, sickness and death. So we got to pull and careful all that we become part of. I know I myself as a witness have attached many things.
Mhm.
Just a few ago, and ain't bad.
That's sure.
When you say a few, that ain't too bad.
No.
I'm heading towards the finishing line.
Yeah. Yeah. And zero is the vehicle home.
Yes, indeed. And I'm this for sure that I'm not waiting on no Republican Party, nor no Democratic Party, nor no government to fix my problem. Because they all have a problem themselves.
That's right.
When I see sick government with problems, and then they're going to fix my problem, like he said earlier, ignorant is evil, best friend.
Ignorance is evil.
Now, when we take that and use that as a measuring stick, and we look out and we see how so many people has ignorant for their best friend, a green giant, that is fine and dandy, knowing they have a serious problem. It's not hard to see.
Okay.
It's out there.
That's why the greatest goal, education is the enemy of ignorance. Through education alone, self becomes itself. Now it's time to reach the glory, the glorified body. Mm. I go forth. Glorification of self-realization. When it comes to glorifying or the glorification of self-realization, this is what self needs to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, Janaka said 4.1, instruction 4.1. Surely one who knows self, capital S, though he plays the game of life, differs greatly from the world's wildered, burdened beasts, athletes. I was one.
Me too.
Until I became self, K.O.S. And I don't even play ball no more. Everybody still wants you to go play ball when you say you don't play ball. You tell them you do education, boy, they still don't want to get educated. That's why people are dumb, and you ain't gonna catch me with the dummies. You gonna catch me into the knowledge.
Yeah, play ball for they study.
I've been with them.
Let's play study.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call that a game.
We done played basketball from morning to the sun is hot. You'll be out there sweating in the sun. And you read and get some education in the cool building.
And you using all your strength and energy running up and down that court and all. And what did you profit behind that? No amount mess your body up and your life. It ain't nothing to do with the truth.
Nothing.
Just a game.
Oh.
Just a game.
And they are advertising that to all of the world.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so happy not to be a part of any of that. I have my own. I don't play about this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting around waiting on no man to judge me. I ain't sitting around no man to teach me.
Right on.
I can read and write myself. I need to read what I need to read. Yeah. Go get dictionaries, go get thesauruses, go get unabridged, go get law dictionary. It don't matter. If it takes, that's what it takes. It's gonna get done.
Yeah.
I don't like lazy people. Me myself ain't lazy. To get the self-knowledge, you can't be lazy. I'm so not lazy, I made the school creator reward. They had the creator reward. And they called it the hustle reward.
Sure did.
I had to make them create a hustling reward because I go and get it. For the foolishness, I go. So now when they're talking about dying, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my end time. I'm dying this way. So you might as well get over it. Speaking about,
go ahead, finish.
When we are speaking about self for me is eternal. It's immortal. So I don't have to think how you think. I don't know what you know. I don't have to be what you be. When it comes to self is uniquely self. And all the times I have seen push forward, I have not seen great knowledge come out of the Southern Belt yet. And we're supposed to have tens and thousands of people in high-level places. Bismillah, BS. I'm 36 years old. You won't fool me no more. At these times, we are talking about what you can do. You can't do is stop all foolishness. And this is what I'm doing. Piece of whiskey.
I just want to 4-1 playing the games of life. You know, it's just amazing. One word they called the Olympics. In all the countries get together and play games. So you mean to tell me they can get together and play games, but they can't get together and let's sit down and play the game of truth? They ain't interested in that. So to show you the interest, what their best interest and what they have on their mind in having everybody wrapped up in the Olympics. See? We can all come together, all walks of life, but we can't come together in truth. I put a period on that.
Well, I'm glad to have a self, because I witnessed the same thing, but I got a self, so none of those things apply to me. They apply to whoever they apply to, but I'm letting it be known they don't apply to me. When it comes to self-knowledge, this not in the South. This the first time it ever been in the South. So it got to show its tail. It got so those who come after want this weak tricknology, this weak called book magic. Now I bet again after what I get done, you won't love a book again. You're gonna have this one book, the Sufian, and after that, all books can stay where they are. Because none of those books is expressing what's in this book. And these are your divine constitutional rights. Believe it or not, I wouldn't care. I know mine. You won't step on mine. So when we talking about knowing your rights, this is called self. So the more self-knowledge you have, you know your rights to life. You don't have to play the game when you know your rights to life.
That's
right. Like I said, this come from not being in prison learning how to read. This come from doing it on my own time. I didn't get set in jail to go learn and go read books. No, I did this on my own time in city. So no one can tell me the power that's in self. So the things that you don't need is called clothes and these things. These things are the farthest things that'll take you into darkness. Because you're not adept enough to have these master machines. I seen people got cars ain't been nowhere. I seen people who ain't going nowhere. They don't know what to do with cars, who to see, where to go, any of this. And ain't no cars in heaven. You tell me where you see flying cars at. Nothing but the ignorant man making what he making in his ignorance. Even 1,000 years from now, you won't be remembered. You thought about that? So what are you living for? The people here?
That's correct.
4.2, the instruction says, truly the yogi feels no elation, though he abides in the exalted state, yearned for by Indra and all the jealous gods, discontented, because they got no self-knowledge. 4.3, surely one who knows that is not touched by virtue or vice, just as space is not touched by, though it seems to be. I've been shot. Body was shot, not myself. Myself is here, still alive. The body was dead then. Self picked myself up. Self picked my body up. This is why I'm here today. I could have laid on the ground like any week. But self, that's in, and all that's in self is immortal. So you don't have to tell me about these things. I know from first, self is immortal. The knowledge just had to get pursued. So after being shot, I had to pursue knowledge because that's what I wanted. And once I pursued knowledge, this is where all the answers became known. It says on 4.4, who prevent the great soul who knows the universe as self from living life as it comes? Question mark. 4.5, of the four kinds of being to a blade of grass, only the sage can renounce aversion and desire. Going the wrong way, or a book version. Only a real wise person can reject the wrong way. 4.6, rare, this could be any self. Rare is he who knows himself. You talking about, you thought $1 million was rare. Knowing yourself, this is the most rarest thing in this world that we in, made by this society, these secret society members. Yeah. Rare is he who knows himself as one with no other. The higher self-talk. Yeah. The higher self is the Lord of the universe. And what Drew Ali told us about the higher self, that the higher self is Allah. That's right. That's when you know. Yeah, make sure you see the proof right here.
That living entity that's in you, who you think that is?
Self is Allah in man. Will not pass away. See, when you know that, your life changes. Yeah. But taught that in any colonial school system.
And I see why.
Made by the colonizer.
Yeah.
He created his own.
Yeah, that's right.
See,
you're in captivity. That's right.
And that's why I need our people to understand, just like he created his own school system to trick and deceive you, he created his own book. That's right. His own Bible.
That's right.
Mimicking our original scriptures.
Yeah. That's exactly.
So our people is being duped. And I just hope y'all get this message before you and
we so afraid we keep going his way.
Yeah.
It's just like the people who keep running down to the voting polls.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Mm-hmm. He got it. Is good.
It's working.
It deceived the best. He told them in the book, even your best,
Mm-hmm.
your what you call the elect, will be deceived. See, only the wise wouldn't be deceived. I was born to figure this out.
I heard that.
My name, you put my whole name together, which I wouldn't reveal,
Mm-hmm.
but it means exactly what I'm doing right now. So when we talking about it is our choice to what? To get money or learning how to be immortal,
That's what we supposed to be doing right now.
called wisdom,
Mm.
the knowledge of the Creator. The Creator is immortal. This is why the Fatiha opens up with the Creator of existence, Lord of the universe. We ain't talking about Lord God, as they would say in the Bible of Genesis 2. See, the magician is so trickery. This is why it takes so long to get through those texts. Not only is the Bible over 1,000 pages,
Yeah.
but you got to understand the whole thing because it's full of words.
It sure is.
Most people ain't got time for that. If you can hear the Sufian, that's a good thing if you ain't read the Bible in its entirety. But it's all what you have. The Sufian is a savior, but you would know what you had if you didn't read through these holy scriptures. This is why I know what I got, because I've been through the whole nine. And this is for all of humanity. This is not my wisdom. This is who I serve wisdom. And as a servant of him, he wants you to be wise. He wants you to know exactly what he knows.
That's right.
He don't want you under no veil. He don't want you under nothing that's based in inequality. My last line says, he acts as he knows and is never afraid. The gunman came to me and I jumped on the gunman. The gunman fled. Was he really about it? No. These people are just pawns playing, taken over by spirits.
Yep.
And you know, as they say, it's this deeper. They say at 3 o'clock a.m. the devil come out and play.
Yep.
I didn't know that till after I started getting knowledge. But that's when the devil come out and play. And that's what happened to my cousin around that same time.
Yep.
So all this takes a call and recall if you on the path of wisdom. These things happen to people. And it can happen to you. So this is why we have to understand the higher self in man. Woo, woo. Because there's one thing about the Moorish Quran breaks down the best understanding of death for one to be aware of. Because this is the main thing to know. Nothing else needs to be known from self to know that self does not die. But self got to go through something called the ministry of death. And this is what has to be known. If not, then you're going to reincarnate and you're not going to get into eternity. If we don't understand eternity, eternity is existence just like you in an existence. Eternity is universe A. What you in today is universe B. Universe B dies. Everything in universe B dies. How did things come to universe B from universe A? Universe A is your higher self. That's Allah and man. This is what a little bit of something we need to know. In flesh of man, there is the higher self. And the higher self is of the resurrection of the dead. This essence, called the higher self, quickened by the holy breath, will raise the substance of the body to a higher tone. See, and this is what we're reading about by awareness, and this is that substance that's within the flesh that if you don't know what it is, it can't resurrect. Resurrect means to go into eternal existence, everlasting life. You beat the game of life. Called you beat death. The game ain't in between. The game is at death. Yep. Did you study enough to know what to do at the moment of death? And if your study ain't up, you definitely, because ain't nothing but so. If you think call, that is called you going to the language. You on a false name and thinking you going to a true location. Death, Jesus is a made up name, and Jesus didn't call himself Jesus. So if you praying in the name of Jesus, this is called sorcery. You calling on the name of a ghost. And I don't think you want a ghost to visit you. Not in death. Demons are more powerful in the spirit realm. Meaning they can let me make some things clear. In death, demons can transform and look just like your relatives. They can shape shift, look like your mother, look like your daddy, look like any form. Because it's an illusion. And if we don't know self, then we're going to fall into these traps. And we don't know that these traps are pockets of existence that eventually crash you back down to earth, where you got to get the baby brain again, and you got to learn all of it over from scratch. And if you want to do that, here we go again. This is why it tells us there's a holy ministry in death. This higher self of the flesh cannot be quickened by the holy breath until the body is dissolved. The body must disintegrate. And this is death. That was the beautiful part of knowing the Moorish Holy Quran. To reach that state, all you need to do is okay, because I think the next reading on her, she stepped out for a moment.
You want me to take?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Four ways to dissolution. As Tavara said, 5.1. You are immaculate, touched by nothing. What is there to renounce? Question mark. The mind is complex. Let it go. Know the peace of dissolution. Dissolve. Look at the people today. They're so confused in their mind. It's so complicated in their mind. You would think, since they've been to school and college, that their mind would be right by now.
We find out.
Huh? But somehow, some way, it's slipping instead of gripping.
Mm-hmm.
You heard those saying, slipping and sliding.
Mm-hmm.
Or when the road get a little slick, you slide.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give you an example, if you've been on
Beautiful.
a slippery road.
Mm-hmm.
And some say I stepped up now up here and I slipped. 5.2. The universe rise from you, like foam from the sea. Know yourself as one, whole, from head to toe is whole, or from toe to head, and anything in between is whole. One and enter the peace of dissolution. 5.3. Like an snake in a rope, the universe appears to exist. In the immaculate self, but does not. Seeing this, you know there is nothing to dissolve. If you can just know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When we don't know self, we have so many complications, so many troubles, so many sickness, so many, just so many,
They call it 10,000 things.
10,000 things.
Mm-hmm.
5.4. You are shameless. And happiness is spell. Life and death. This is the and you know it's amazing how we experience life to be born, and then after a while, by and by, death come knocking on the door. This is the fact. We can't deny this. In between life and death, we got to get it right. That's the purpose of having life, to get it right. Not get caught up in your jealous, not get caught up in the game of life and play ball, but in truth. Real good.
You must redeem. If you have a flesh, that means you must redeem yourself. You must redeem yourself at death. This is why you have a body, because you got to redeem.
That's right.
You came to redeem self. You might have failed other incarnations, but this incarnation, you said to self, I ain't failing. So they have been throwing transformers such as Decepticons to take us out of our Optimus Prime. So we'll never know who we are.
Yeah. That's the purpose of that.
So when we say self-knowledge or knowledge of self, this is the greatest gift. This is the Al-Sufian. This is the greatest gift to ever be given. This is what make all these texts come alive.
Six, the higher knowledge. Janaka said, I am infinite space. The universe is a jump. This I know. No need to renounce, accept, or destroy. A shoreless ocean. The universe makes waves. This I know. No need to renounce, accept, or destroy. I am mother of pearl. The universe is the illusion of silver. This I know. No need to renounce, accept, or destroy. I am in all beings. All beings are in me. This I know. No need to renounce, accept, or destroy.
This I know. This I know. This I know.
That's how simple it is for the higher self. It's not a mind complex.
Yeah, don't figure it out.
That's the lower self, making things complex. The higher self is pure simplicity, pure purity.
And
Okay.
when you think about all ocean, there's an embankment somewhere. And here it says, I am a shoreless ocean with no bankment. Huh? That's that infinite space. Went on to say that I am in all beings. Who can deny that? And all beings are in me. Who can deny that? Who gave breath? If man or woman, who gave, where did breath come from? Take a moment and think it over. It's time to get it right. Especially when you've been doing it for wrong for so. That's our trouble as a people. We've been going wrong for so long.
Mhm.
And you see why we're at the bottom rung, more incarcerated, more sick, more everything, more trouble, a sea of trouble. Allies know nobody to help you. Here they can help others, our government help others and all, and then invite them over here. But nobody to help us. We don't have no other help but Allah, and Allah alone.
Mhm. Always said, because the law is self
That's right.
in all being.
In all beings. Deny that.
All right, this we hitting on the seventh.
Mm-hmm.
Our seventh instruction: the nature of self-realization.
Mm-hmm.
Janaka said, 7.1. In me, this ocean,
Mm.
the arc of universe, drifts here and there on the winds of its nature. I am not impatient. 7.2. In me, the shoreless ocean, let the waves of the universe and fall as they will.
Mm.
I am neither enhanced nor diminished.
Mm.
7.3.
Mm.
In me, the shoreless ocean,
Mm.
the universe is imagined. I am still and formless.
Mm.
In this alone I abide. 7.4. The self is not in objects, nor are objects in the pure and infinite self.
Mm.
Because objects is non-living being.
That's right. How about that?
Is a living
How about that?
being.
Yeah.
The self is tranquil, free of attachment. In this alone, I.
Look at it. And can I say something in a minute?
Mhm.
When I see how to manipulate it,
Mhm.
uh, Vince Lombardi trophies or Bryant O'Brien trophies, that's the basketball, is more important than life itself. And life will go and run up and down the court just to get a trophy, just an object.
Mhm.
And just the gratification and the glorification. And now you call yourself about that.
Comical, yeah.
Just think about it. Just think about that a little bit.
That's right.
Some people have died on the field, died on the court, running up and down the field in the court. Just that trophy.
Mhm. Okay, 7.5, last one. I am aware the world is passing show. How can thoughts arise, acceptance or rejection? And where
And where?
does thoughts
Where, oh, where?
arise? From the illusions?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If we're a shoreless ocean, where did the shore come in at?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Mm. Okay. 8. Bondage, bondage, and liberation. Trap and Ashtabara said, when the mind desires, when the mind desires or grieves things, accept or reject things, is pleased or displeased by things. This is bondage. Think about that. Now you see why we caught in so many traps by the greeds of things. Desires, whether it's flesh, mellow, or object, whatever the case may be, we said it's bondage. Yeah. That's why I think why Solomon said all is bad.
Something about them things, ain't it?
Yeah. In all the big cities today, people will take lies for money. Right now. All this crime going on in these cities, it's about drugs and money and lust. You can't get right. All this is bondage.
Yeah, bondage.
That's why Jesus told you better know the truth so you can be free from all that. When you don't know the truth and you're full of lies.
That's right.
8.2. When the mind does not desire or grieve, accept or reject, become pleased or displeased, liberation is at hand. You see that? This is how you become free. When the mind ain't caught up and wrapped up around all them desires and greed. This is liberation. They use income many ways. They use money to trap us many ways.
Many devices. Oh,
I wonder why money didn't save the dying man on his deathbed. Lord desires. Point 3. If the mind is attached to any experience, this is what you're thinking about. What's on your mind? What you experience. Is it good or bad? It's bad because I got a problem. It ain't just Houston has a problem, but Georgia as well. When the mind is detached from all experience, this is liberation. In other lesson we were studying about attachment, it said unattach all the things that you're attached to. We attach to many things. Cars, money, drugs, alcohol, friends. Some of us can't even stand to be alone. You just got to have somebody else around. The attachment. Yet you die, nobody with you. But you just got to have somebody around. There have been times I've been in this world around people that didn't see not another person. There's been days that I've never seen another human being. How about that? I've felt, yeah, that really happened to me many times. There's been times I ain't seen nobody all day long. Yeah. .4. When there is no I, there is only liberation. When I appear, bondage appears. Knowing this, it is effortless to refrain from accepting injustice. And if you ever notice when some of your people come around, or I or we, sometimes trouble come with it. You ever know that?
Go with it.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yep, been a part
Everything
of it.
will be lovely-dovey, then when they pop up, trouble
Come with it.
Now, how about that? Can we bear witness to that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. See, this thing is real, man.
That is real.
You got to pay close attention.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, well, what's on your mind, brother? Is it good or bad?
Right. Oh, yes.
Bondage and liberation.
Yeah, that's a good
Which
one.
will it be?
Yeah. It's like ignorance and wisdom.
Yeah.
Which one would it be?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, instruction 9 is detachment. Because that was filled with detachment.
Yeah.
What you were just reading.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we finna learn. 9.1. Opposing forces, Republican and Democrat, for example.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. Don't leave them out.
I'll tell you, light and night. Another example. Duties done and left undone. Opposing. Be ever desireless. Let go of all things, and to the world turn an indifferent eye. 9.2. Rare and blessed is one whose desire to live, to enjoy, to know has been extinguished by the ways of men. It can be seen. 9.3. Seeing all this threefold suffering, the sage becomes still. Remember, we're dealing with the spirit, the body, the threefold suffering. The sage becomes still, insubstantial, transient, and contemptible. The world is fit for rejection. Talking about society. Insubstantial. Every 4 years is transient. And they always debating back and forth, finding no contemptible. 9.4. Was there an age or time? Was there an age or time men existed without opposites? Question mark. Leave the opposites behind. Be content with what comes. One word, perfection. Leaving the opposites behind. That's beautifully said.
That ought to tell all the people that right there to leave the governments behind because they ain't about all the governments I see is about murder and killing. Lying, thieves, and then charge the people taxes. And then take the money and buy more weapons. And then take the money and help other their friends and allies, give them guns and bombs, and then allow them to come over here and speak and address the people. That is badness.
That is. Okay, 9.5. The greatest seers, the greatest saints, the greatest yogis agree on very in this who could not be in to knowledge and become still. Question mark.
And that ought to say right there, when you see the Jews behaving the way they behave, when you see the Muslims behaving the way they behave, when you see the Christians behaving the way they behave, and it's all as a body of one, just look what a mess we have.
Creating a mess. Creating a mess for 9. One who through worldly indifference, through serenity and reason, sees his true nature and escapes illusion, the lower self. Teacher, question mark. It's definitely right. 9.7. In the myriad forms of the universe, see the primal element alone. You will be instantly free and abide in self. And that primal element is the zero. It's how we get back to self by nothing. Getting through death. 9.8. Desire. Because you were reading about how the mind attaches itself with desire. Desires creates the world. Desire creates the world. That's the lower self. Renounce it. Renounce desires, and you renounce the society. Now you may That's most beautiful.
Ain't that beautiful?
As you are.
As you are. When you think about as you are not, as you are, and then when them desire come in, kicks in, now you goes after that. But you back off and leave them desire alone, then you won't have no problem. When you everybody in trouble, girlfriend, boyfriend, ain't a thing but desire. It breaks up happy homes.
Mm-hmm.
From men to men and women to women.
Mm-hmm.
Less desire.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Less desire.
Her.
Mm-hmm.
Like if she ain't flesh.
Mm-hmm.
But your mind's so poison, you've been snake bit and the venom spread all over through your bloodstream.
That ain't good. Ah, that ain't good.
That ain't good.
That ain't good.
Mm.
That ain't good.
See? Neck and penetrate.
Mm-hmm. That is asking for trouble.
Mm-hmm. All right. 10. Quietude. Astavara said, 10:1.1. Give up desires. Ooh, I can't do that. Go sell all that you have. All I can think about is this day.
Hey, that story, dude, that
He said,
parable
go
pop right
sell
there.
all you have and give up all this desire and follow me. Oh, no, Jesus.
He had to rethink that thing.
Jesus, let me think on
His
that.
desires were two desires.
Jesus got to go. He ain't got time to wait on you think. He done told the truth, done told you what to do, but you just can't accept that.
He couldn't come to the zero.
If you go and tell the rich people today all of them to sell what they have, to give them what they have, they ain't gonna give it up.
Yeah, they don't do it.
No.
They don't do it.
They'd rather give their life
Yeah.
before they give up their wealth
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and all the material things they have. That's why they buy more and they get more and they can't get enough.
Mm-hmm.
Boast about how much money they got and how much they have and won't help nobody.
That's how you know. No love in their heart. They ain't got a higher self.
That's right. That's what that is. That's what that is.
As the Moorish, our Moorish Holy Quran, body of desires, the lower self is a reflection of the higher self.
Mm-hmm. Which is the enemy. Desire is your enemy, and you don't know that. Give up prosperity, which is born of mischief and good works. Be indifferent. You know, when you go around people and they all meat eaters and you don't eat meat, you feel good. Just to be indifferent. Once upon a time, you was a flesh eater in a 10:2 said, 10.2 said, look upon friends lands, wealth, houses, wives, gifts, and all apparent good fortune, as a passing show, as a dream lasting 3 or 5. This I know. You can lose your friends. You can lose your land. You can lose your wealth. I've known houses, their wives, and the thief broke in the house and stole the gift. You lose all that. It comes and goes. But everlasting life, that's what we should be seeking for. Take this life and seek everlasting life. That's what we're supposed to be doing, using this life to achieve eternity. Everlasting life. That's what he was talking about. That's what. But we call it 10.3. Desires. There is the world. Be firm in it. Free of desires. Be happy. That's how you find. Without all that I. And we do know we caught up in friends, land, wealth, houses, wives, and gifts. When you bring them a gift or give them something, you see what it does. .4 Bondage and desire are the same. You say, well, how can that be? You're in the jailhouse and you can't get out. You're in the jailhouse of desires and you can't get out. That's why it's same trap. You cannot be in jailhouse, but you can run from here to there, A and B, and still be in jail. The jail of desire. Destroy desire only by detaching from the world, joyfully realize self. Mm-hmm. Makes sense, don't it? 10 and 5. 1. Awareness itself. The universe is neither aware nor does it exist. Even ignorance is unreal. What is left to know? 10.6. Attached as you have been to the kingdom, to kingdoms, sons, wives, bodies, pleasures, life after life. Still, they are now lost. Look at that. Mhm. You read in scripture where it said that the old kingdom that passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Say, how can the kingdom pass away? And we know we see fathers burying their son. You know why? And people's body can't go no more. We experience these things. That ought to tell us something there. When the body gets and people being on the sick bed and they can't go, that ought to tell them something. That the body ain't all what it all hacked up to be. Oh, muscle man. 10.7. Prosperity, pleasure, highest deeds. Enough. In the dreary forest of the world, a mind finds no rest. Can you imagine being in New York where it's a city that never, people that never sleep go to sleep? Got plenty desires they have. Plenty pleasure. 10.8. For how many lifetimes have you done hard and painful labor with body, mind, and speech? Question mark. It is time to stop.
Painfully.
You know, almost every road we travel and go down, there's a stop sign somewhere.
Yeah.
It says stop.
Hey, yeah,
It's time to stop.
yeah.
It's time to stop. Every road you travel, you get stopping place.
Come to a stop. Somewhere on the road.
Somewhere on the road. It's telling us something.
Mm-hmm. So
Life the same way. All the roads of life, the turn, the left, the right, the left, the hills, the valley, the plain. It's time to stop.
it says it's time to stop the hard and painful labor.
Mm-hmm.
And the next instruction is wisdom. Instruction 11. Mm-hmm. 11.1. Well, no, it's 1 o'clock. We just hit, so we'll start on. Yeah,
Okay. It's 1 o'clock
Yeah,
already.
just that
Boy, them 2 hours flew by fast, man.
just that quick. Yep.
Yeah, that's 101.
Yep.
More time fly when you're having
Yeah.
fun. Boy,
Hey.
that's a good one to start.
Yeah,
back
that's
on.
a good one to start on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close our divine meeting in the name of our divine creator, the Al-Sufian. Peace and love. Al-Wadu.
Well, dude.